Is going to put you on. No one's going to hand you the mic. No one's going to hand you the spotlight. No one's going to hand you the stage or the glory. You have to take it for yourself. I remember when I was younger, there was this artist who was an underground artist, a music artist, and a lot of his fans constantly said that, oh, if he could only get on someone's platform that had 1 billion viewers or had 1 billion subscribers, or if only he could get on someone's tour who was selling out and making billions of dollars, who was selling out arenas, who was extremely successful, who was like #1 constantly, week after week, month after month, year after year on the Billboard Top 40. They're like, if only someone could give him a platform, give him like a feature on their songs, then he could really blow up. Well, this artist never ended up getting that break and remained still a respectable artist, a good artist, and he kept a hold of his core audience and his core fans, but he stayed sort of underground. Nothing wrong with that, but that mentality of his fans to think someone else owed him a spot in putting him on, and it just didn't end up working out that way. Know that people aren't necessarily incentivized to put you on. People really have to do right by themselves, and really we're all collectively better when we all do what's best for ourselves and our immediate core, our immediate family. It doesn't mean don't help people. It doesn't mean don't have an attitude that you are excited to assist other people. But people naturally, the way we've evolved is we take care of the core, we take care of the self, and then that way the community gets better. So understand that people aren't necessarily heavily incentivized. There isn't a ton of value in putting you on and giving you the spotlight, handing you the mic, and working towards your success. You need to want your success. It's funny, there's nothing worse than a value leech. And what's a value leech? It's a person that we've all been around these people who are constantly asking you for stuff. And how refreshing is it, the inverse, rather, when you're around someone who offers to assist the world around them. They're not asking you for handouts. They're not constantly having their hand out around you, begging for you to give them stuff, begging for a contribution. They seek instead to give to the world. They're refreshing to be around. No one wants to be around a value leech or someone that sucks the value out of the room. I remember I had a buddy who was a personal trainer, a fitness coach, and a life coach, and he would have certain clients pay him for like a year of classes. They would pay him the entire year, and they wouldn't, want a refund, but they would show up maybe to 1 or 2 classes. And they would then have the nerve to complain to him and be like, I really want to lose the weight. I really want a 6-pack. And my friend would tell them, well, I want to help you, but you don't even want to help yourself. So again, life's about self-responsibility. No one's going to do it for you. I can't go to the gym for you. I can't eat healthy for you. Me going and lifting weights, I can't transfer that over onto you. You have to do it for yourself. Now we can collaborate, we can come up together, but no one's going to do the work. Again, no one's going to put you on. No one's going to do that time in the gym for you. You really have to take ownership. And when you hear of people who are sort of those value leeches, they suck the value out of a room, they're asking for stuff, they really tend to be passive people. They're like rudderless ships in the night that are just kind of tossed about by the waves. They haven't decided resolutely that they are going to go on this path, and they don't work and barrel towards their path and towards their goal. They're just sort of passively going wherever the winds and the waves take them. But what we want to strive to be, and we're all working at this, none of us is a perfect finished product, we're all working toward it, but we want to be that rock, really that lighthouse in the storm. And you have to be your own lighthouse. In a way, you almost have to become your own mentor. So what I've noticed about the people that I've met in the Bitcoin community, it's extremely positive, is that they have this understanding, and it's really made them humble. They aren't people that are asking for stuff. What do they have to do? What's their journey? Well, probably before they adopted Bitcoin, they tried out some other meme coins, or they had some other failed investments, or they had some other failed businesses or other failed ventures, or they were working other jobs, doing the best they could to hustle to put some money aside for Bitcoin. And they found themselves, really in a state of humility because they had to do a lot of navigating through uncharted waters, through a lot of darkness. And they had to, hopefully we cheer their success. We all want to come out of this and be super successful. But there's a humility I've experienced in talking to Bitcoiners because they had to try these different ventures and be wrong at a lot of these things. And then they had to find their way to the correct path. But it took them doing self-analysis, doing a self-audit, really doing careful reading, being analytical, doing very targeted research, doing an extensive amount of research, not giving up, having a lot of endurance, until they finally arrived at the world's greatest asset, Bitcoin, and now they find themselves on the path to success. So stay humble, realize no one's going to do the work for you. Don't be lazy, do the reading, do the time, arrive at a thesis that works optimally for you and your family, do it with integrity, but really keep your nose to the ground and keep working hard. No one's going to put you on. No one's going to do the work for you.